All right. Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
Been be wild.
I think pretty much a week, on a calendar week even. Must have been here last Tuesday or something.
Something.
Tuesday
like
our time. Must be late Monday night. Who'd be out there late Monday night? Hello, late Monday night people.
Yeah. Like Monday night American.
All right. So, should introduce ourselves, right? Papa Weird.
Whittling.
Greetings. And Lob.
And Gus.
Oh yeah, Gus is over here. Hello. You didn't say hello back. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, very good. Alright, I almost made you play in your character then. Almost. So, where were we this last week? Oh, I have done some things. I did do... So what's the changes? We do have to write that still in about what mind flayers, what kind of Illithids we're using, and their creatures. And I thought we might keep a running tally on this front page. We still have to write that in, but here...
Is that your second isometric map?
Yeah, maybe. I might be insane enough to try and do it again. But it helps me sort of look at the way that it is actually...
Set up?
Sure. I think they were upside down too. I think it's meant to be that way. Yeah, there's the entrance. So you got... Step off to the side for a second. Where is this? Oh, yes. Yes. You can't see. What's
We're
that
gonna
one?
have to put this up on the Reddit or something.
Sure. Bit difficult. Oh, I know. That's over here.
Whoa.
See, that comes over there. This is meant to be... Okay, so... Let me see. This is our entryway here. Oh, you can't really see it on there. You can. It's kind of fine line. This is why this needs to be drawn in pen later. But this is the entry gate. And you got the gardens off on one side. That's what the gardens will be over there. And on here we have the glass house, right? Behind it we have what was the herb patch. So we had like a... Remember we said there was a like a herb and veggie patch?
Yeah.
Well, over here is where we have the herb patch. And this much larger one is the actual vegetable patch. Because if this is where, yeah, this is a plate where we put different plants in there. And I went and consulted one of the other books, one of the old books, for different...
How old?
Like 3.5 old.
That's old.
Sure.
That's
before you were born,
me.
old. Some old D&D lore. All right.
From the good old days.
I didn't play much of D&D around then. I actually played 2nd edition and AD&D, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
And muds.
Sorry?
And didn't you do mudding like that?
Yeah, sure, but that was based on AD&D and 2nd Ed, a lot of the muds too, all that way back then. And then when I went from there, I was doing a lot more like other role plays and stuff. So when 3.5 was around, I didn't touch it. Or 4th Ed, I definitely didn't do any 4th Ed. So I know more about 3.5. Some of the video games that I played were actually based off 3.5. Because that's when they had already, I think they had already dropped Thaco to hit armor class 0. They'd already dropped that out by 3.5. So you never even have to worry about what a Thaco even is.
What's a Thaco?
It's a different way of doing armor class and confusing yourself. So anyway, get back to this. So we do have the area for the veggie patch and the herb patch. This is the guest house, the first one, with the 2 higher class Illithids and their little lab rooms. I've sort of drawn that in there. And this is the quarters over here for the lower guest houses. They sort of sit off to here. So you can consider this
like
a pathway. And this is a sort of where there's a pavilion, what would have been a meeting place back in the day for guests to come and meet and sit and you know, look at the veggie patch and chat before they go off to have
business.
Not business, religious ministrations, right? Go and listen to whoever was doing yes, they were religionating, all right? So yeah, so we had got that far. So what does that look like over here? Let's put those away, right? Because this is ongoing process, well and truly, all right? I just wanted to show some working to say that I tried to, like, because some of these, the way you look at it, when you look at it on this great big overview here, where was our drawing? When you're looking at it at the big overview, where these rooms are and just this rough drawing up and size, it doesn't all fit, you know, right? So for example, this veggie and herb part got moved over here and is sitting in front of the glass house and the guest house. The lower guest house is kind of running off on one of the sides.
Like two
and
lower guest.
yeah, we'll have the dining halls and the kitchens running up along the side of the abbey, side by side in another way. So these are things we're going to do today, all right? But drawing it up and what it actually looks like, having the isometric there and having a bigger plan, even though it's going to be quite big, allows me to be able to more easily see the dimensions of these rooms and what's realistic and how far away. Like, for example, what I thought would be a good space between the lower and the good guest house, instead of being 150, 200 feet, actually gets closer to probably 50 to 50 to 80 feet away. Yeah, but there's like the whole pavilion and part of the garden in there. What is that? The veggie patches in there, right? So anyway, we'll put that aside. Turn to what we're doing today. All right, let's get focused. Up in the hizao, right? That's what we do. We quote other cool gangster peoples. No, that's some Snoop Dogs.
Oh.
All right, movies. Don't you know about the Hizows and the Dizows and the... No, you need to go listen to some more Snoop music. Alright, some Snoop Doggy Dog. Alright. Okay. Before anybody comes for me in the comment. Let's move on. So today... Oh, we just show what we had done. So here's where it was like... This is where we're going to come back to. I'm going to write all of the... And we'll keep a running tally in here, right? So we'll have to do... Put their pets down the bottom. All right, and here we're going to keep a running total of pets. So we've got the devourers, right, and we also have the cranium rats, right.
We haven't had any of those yet.
We haven't put any in yet. No, sure, but they're going to exist in here.
They're going to exist.
And we out of the mind flayers, right. We already put in a couple of the basic illithids, right, the basic mind flayers. So we have basic flayers, all right. Then we will have, what are the ones we have? Oh, and we have the different versions, right? We have an arcanist.
One.
Sorry?
There's this like superior mind flayer.
Well, yeah. There's the more in Volos here, which I'm pretty sure must be in Monsters and Multiverse as well. It mentions one that's more psionically based. So you have the regular flayer, you have the scions. And then you have
the rejects.
There's Arcanus ones, right? They're the magical ones, but there's also the Alhoons are the bigger. They're the CR10 bigger magical ones, right? So we wanted to have a couple of those. So we'll put Alhoons over here. Make sure we give them enough boxes each. All right, 1, 2, 3. Let me see. And then we had we'll put the Arcanists under them because we'll have an Arcanist work with a Alhoon. We'll have a look at these as we get to them. All right, and we want these Illithids. Man, I don't even know if I'm even how to pronounce that word. The Illithids. Illithids. This is one of the ones we're gonna have Ed Greenwood come and pronounce. Who's he? He's one of the guys that like wrote D&D, huh?
Illithrid.
Illithid. No, but
Illithrid.
Okay, sure. If that's how that comes across yours. All right. Oh, and we have one brain. All right. So we have a brain. All right. I'll probably put it then. I can probably, let's see if we get the box to come out to here. We do that. I can break that part there. And
phase 1 and
there
phase
we go.
2.
What, you of the brain?
Yeah.
Oh, you want the brain to have a second phase?
Yeah.
Sure. We have to write that in somewhere so I don't forget.
Brain.
I'm sure you'll remind me, but put that in here in the map section for a second. See, look, here, hidden, Elder Brain Lair. You want a 2-phase boss fight of some variety. All right, sure. We'll think about that later. All right. So how many Illithids, just basic mind flayers we had so far? 5, isn't it?
I think.
Where was it? Over here. We had 2 in this one, in the upper guest houses, right? They were smaller. There's only 2 of those. But they are slightly bigger, all right? So we've got 5 so far. I'll keep it like a running tally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And then we have 8 of the mind puppies.
Sure. We have 8 of those so far. So down here, devourers. We're gonna
8
have
brain puppies.
do the wiggly line. All right.
Squiggly.
Sure. So far we got 8, right?
Yep,
1,
8 of the
2,
brain
3,
puppies.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Great.
You haven't had anything else, have you?
No, not yet. All right, I'm gonna leave this over here for now. We can come back for that later. Okay, and we'll fill out more of this stuff like what loot they've got on them or what resources you can get off them as we go. All right, because there is possible ways to have a look at that. Make sure my microphone's sorted out.
Say I was a rogue, right?
Yeah, sure. You're a rogue.
Can I make a brain puppy dagger?
What? Intellect devouring dagger.
Yeah, like from one of the claws.
They don't really know. It's more the big tongue that they lash onto you with that does the devouring and the mouthy part of it. Like, it'd probably be more the teeth out of the maw or something. You make arrows out of them or something. Put them on the end of an arrow.
So make the brain puppy teeth whip.
Sure. That's a question for in-game stuff, maybe. We got on the book there. This is the thing, like what is actually on these. You can go over and have a look, right? On the did I pull up one of the cross over the video, right? Cross the streams to the video over to that one, and see that's our lair, right? So we might come back to that. Okay, don't lose that page. Now go across to, is it the next one? Just no. Did I say the next one?
Oh.
No, the next one again then. What is that? No, keep going.
Okay.
Keep going. There, right? So that's what intellect devourers should have on them,
Brain
that you can make out of them.
Devourer blood.
So they have brain chunks.
1d4 brain chunks and 1d2 intellect devourer blood.
Okay, chunks and blood. All right. So what does the chunks do for you?
When consumed, you can sense the presence and location of any creature within 300 feet of you that has an intelligence of 3 or higher, regardless of interposing barriers.
Sure. What, you just eat that, drink it, put it in a potion?
Yeah, you just drink that, and then you just be like to the elder brain, latitude 538.
Sure. All right. Okay. What's
2531?
Oh my gosh.
0.5.
What does the blood do? Moving on. That's enough decimal places.
It increases your intelligence by 1d4 to a maximum of 20 for an hour.
Sure, pretty handy, right? Can use these things. Okay, what is it? I think on that you can also have what the mind flayers have, right? No, you'll have to go down because mind flayer comes M comes after I, right? I before M, except after L. Isn't that how that saying goes?
Mind flayer. 1 broken breastplate.
Oh, they do? You can take the breastplate off them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure.
1d4 mind flayer tentacles can be crafted into a dagger.
Wait. Breastplate. How many of those? 1. You can rip one off it.
1d4 mind flayer tentacles can be crafted into a dagger or a short sword.
Well, there you go. See, there's your weapon. You don't get it off of
Once per day, when you hit a creature with this weapon, you can force it to make a DC 15 intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, the creature is stunned.
You need to you need to bring your pitch down, because the higher pitch, it's harder to speak to hear you. As happy you are, bringing your pitch up don't help. All right. Okay. Focus. Get excited on the inside, all right, and speak clearly. Okay.
1d2 mind flayer eyes.
All right.
When consumed.
Oh, they have eyes as well. All right.
You gain dark vision for a range of 120 feet for an hour.
Oh, okay, sure.
1d6 Mind Flayer blood.
Oh, you can get the vials of blood out of it as well. All right,
When
what's that give
consumed,
you?
You have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects for an hour.
Okay.
And 1d4 vials of Mind Flayer brain matter.
Oh, they got brains to matter. All right, what do you do with their brain matter?
You can communicate with any creature you can see within 60 feet of you for 1 hour. You don't need to share a language with it, but the creature... But for it to understand you, but the creature must be able to understand at least one language.
I see. So you can see we can get some cool stuff out of it. You kill enough of these things. I mean, you're gonna eat some yucky stuff and drink some yucky stuff, but I mean, if it's got those kind of bonuses, like, why not, right? It'd be worth it. All right, and we've talked about our map, okay, right? So we've done our map. Okay. Did you change across the other video still? Yeah, very good. Okay, so this is another one where I mixed across. We had the gardens on one side and the glass house on the other, but we did the glass house first before the gardens. But if you are looking at it from an entry point of view, it would look like that. You have the gardens off to the left and the greenhouses off to the right. So we got a little gardens here that's got like meant to have flower patches. There's a little seated area with a fountain to look at. It's got a statue over here that probably would have been a religious icon that's been broken. Right. So there's different sections, you know, you got your rose section, your petunia section, your marigold. I don't want to keep going. All right. Anyway, they're all dead now. Dead flowers now. All right. Okay.
Dead.
All right. Now, we can probably in one of those parts put some of your crumble fruit trees in there as a, you know, ornamental, you know, like along this long one, you sort of have, you have 4 of them along inside there, right? Crumble fruit trees. Now, on the other side, we have the glass house, right? So that's pretty simple. Usually they just have like flower planters around the outside. They got a workbench somewhere so they can pot things, right? And keep tools on. Oh, they probably got a tool rack over here. All right, so we'll just draw that in very okay. And then in the center, they got either a large planter or usually other, you know, big trees and stuff. Like I think we did a greenhouse attached to the church, right? Or we did a conservatory, right?
Oh,
it's a very similar thing, just different names. Okay. But yeah, well, it's usually a conservatory if it's attached, whereas it's a greenhouse if it's a building off somewhere else. Maybe that's the explanation you're looking for. All right. So, but this is the all empty room. This is where there's been like
nothing.
Like everything grown up over the outside so that you can't see in it. So if you crawl inside here and you want to set up as a little base to go explore, then that's probably where you're gonna leave from. All right. Now the next one was the guest house, right? So we had an upper guest house. This is where I was saying beforehand it looks like a room with a bed and a small vanity and a table with some chairs. But then afterwards, these Illithids, what they do with their rooms is they usually turn them into like, oh, I'm experimenting in this way. So my chamber, I'd have like test tubes and creatures. And another one it says could have like musical instruments because it has some fascination with collecting things, weird stuff, right? So each of these little rooms can be decorated or can have like different items and stuff in them, right, when you play it through. And you got 2 of these here. You can have one maybe that's working on the poisons. You could have one that is probably working on you know, advancing the cranium rat mutation, right? I don't know, whatever. Maybe if they can move their way up from rats, they'll have some effective guards. I don't know. Maybe a swarm of cranium rats is actually scarier than I think it is. Could be quite scary. If you have enough of them, it could be quite scary.
Cranium rat.
Oh, sure. Like an actual giant one. But these are more, they talk about them little ones. And when they talk about them as they're like a swarm makes them more whatever. You could probably say they worked on making a bigger one. Make it like a CR5 or a CR6. Take the beast stats from another creature somewhere and tack it on, right? Anyway. On the other side, we have turned this, rather than just simple from simple dormitory, we have split dormitories, right? So we got one over here that would have had 2 of the mind flayers in it, and the other one over here has another one. So this is beforehand, right? This is like I had a bedroom, smaller rooms. They're not separated. They don't have a little table in there, but they, you know, have a cupboard and they've got a little vanity and stuff, right? But now they're being turned into, for example, this one has cages in it, right? So this is where one of them who works on, who keeps the creatures, or who is possibly like, you know, works in, the reproduction of the creatures, because that has to be overseen. Anyway, you could, for example, as I've done here, turn one of these dormitories into full set of cages. The other one, you can just do the same kind of thing. You can just have a smaller lab in there, or a setup or something, right? Or they could be doing some other kind of personal experimentation. I don't know. That's kind of where you're going to get into some crazy stuff, right? So where do we go from there? Oh, then this is where we had the veggie patch, right? And the herb garden that got corrupted. So I was looking through, this is where I had the 3.5 book out, yeah? Looking at different drugs that can be manufactured from trees and plants and stuff. And we have ones in here for how to give them hallucinations. Ones to confuse them. There's ones that will work like an anesthetist. For example, this one here, you take pain once, like damage, and then for like an hour afterwards, you feel absolutely zero pain. So if they mix that drug with a sleepy time drug, then they put you out with like an injection, and it hurts and burns to start with as it sort of goes through you. But then after that, you can pretty much be awake for the entire procedure of them like operating on you, right?
Not fun.
Sure. Yeah, not fun.
Do you still take damage?
Well, and that's where they can like work on. No, you don't. Oh yeah, you do actually. Yeah, you do. With that drug in you, yeah, you don't feel the effects of it, but you actually do take like the physical effects of being damaged. Like, so if you're operated on, that operation still happens. You're not invulnerable. You're just immune to the effects of pain for the hour.
It's like those people who can't feel pain.
Yeah, sure. That's not a great way to be. So,
yeah.
Oh, and an overdose. Say you take another dose over that, so you don't just get the, oh, I feel it once, but now I'm good for an hour. If you take another dose, you overdose and you take all the pain, and then you die horribly with all the pain. Sounds great, right? So
totally,
you could have it that they're walking through these plants, and if they get attacked in here, or they're fleeing through here, and they you know, like you're making dexterity rolls, you want to just run through the plants because you jump over the fences and you see that there's like a garden there and you want to run through it, and it's like, all right, well, now you have to make saves to not be confused because of this plant, the devil weed. Or you have to make saves to not hallucinate, which is the bakar, and I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Well, yeah. And then they've got, so this is where they can have, this is one way that they're getting drugs and poisons and stuff, right? There's other ways for them to get drugs and poisons, and I think we'll talk about that a bit later.
So you're saying, say they snuck up on the Elder Brain somehow, nobody had the mind links or anything. Then they managed to sneak up on the Elder Brain somehow.
Yeah, sure, you get your surprise attack in.
And then they just dosed him with the no pain drug, right?
Okay, sure.
And then they fled, and then they just came back, sneaked up, and just kept on stabbing from behind. Would it know? Excuse
me. No, I mean, of course it'd know that there's people there stabbing it, even though it doesn't feel the pain of it. It's not you're not aware and conscious of your environment or anything like that. That's not how that works, right? what you'd probably do is you'd want to overdose it in that sort of stuff. You'd want to find which of these plants is, like, that's an option, and you would probably reduce it down in, you know, into a dose of a vial or a poison, and then you would try to get it to ingest it, or you'd put it in its water. They live in a big gooey water. Just get enough of this stuff and introduce it into its natural habitat. You know, you're going to poison it that way, right? So I mean, it gives you options. So they're not only dangerous to you, but these are things that someone in your group might want to collect and later on turn to, oh, I'm going to take a level 3 in rogue now and turn into do poisons and stuff and learn how to do sneak attacks with poison blades. Oh, look at me, right? Which it would actually, if you've got a paladin up to that point, who's late game paladin, that then switches over for enough rounds to get some high sneak attack, and they get a crit, and then they've got the, so they got sneak attack damage, as well as their critical, as well as their smite damage, and they burn a spell, so they can get like branding smite or whatever, right? Like, there you go.
With the poison on their blade.
Poison on their blade, like, there you go. You know what I mean? Right, there's options. There's options for you, okay? Anyway, I'll write that in because I think I need to make room for those. These were just notes. Oh, and the tree in the middle, I put a tree in here in the middle. It's kind of like, it's the one thing that's alive and growing here, and it's allowed to be alive because this is what's called an ordeal tree. Now go over to the page again and have a look at that tree. One of those ones, the the Grim Hollow one, right? So was it the second one or the third one? Ordeal tree, yeah, see, so now this thing can attack you. Sure, because it's a big tree thing. If you go up to attack it, of course it can attack back and can walk around, and it's like a treant, okay? An angry, corrupted, cranky treant. But say, for example, that you want to, you see this thing, if you know about it, if you can ask for dark blessings, you just got to tie yourself to the tree and make constitution saves for a week, and then you might get dark blessings answered, right? But what the Illithid do, okay, is, and why people are so scared of them, mortal creatures, is because of the things that they'll do. They'll not only like put tadpoles on you or put intellect devourer spawn on your corpse, or they will steal your brain, or they will torture you and transform you in some experiment, but they might also tie you to this tree. And that way this is a punishment in the sense that, like, they can tie you there, and then after the week, assuming you survive, if you do manage to survive, you're going to get like a dark blessing, but it's like at the tree's behest, and it's going to be like an actual curse. It's not a real blessing, it's a curse, right? And or it will corrupt them and turn them over to their side. Okay, so I will talk a little bit more about this a little bit later, but that's what this tree is here. I'll have to write that in, that we have an ordeal tree in the center there. All right,
just taking in this thing the same size as a dragon turtle, like. Sure,
like, it's a huge tree and it sits right in the center. It's got like, it'll probably sit on you've seen trees. What happens is usually the trunk might only be 10-15 feet around, but then like the actual branches and the overgrowth hanging out of it, you know, like all of the limbs and stuff and all the root system itself, it goes on and on and on, like another 10, 15, 20 feet underneath, right? So that's how they spread out, right? So the canopy and the length of the arms can be a lot bigger than what the actual thickness or girth of the trunk could be, right? Anyway, we need to get on. So that's where we're at. These are all the things we've kind of added in and talked about. Now. All right, where are we going?
Dining room.
What have we got? Okay, so I should open up the other map and sort of leave it there sitting underneath. Okay, where's that? Oh, this one. Let's put this underneath here. Okay, I might even roll that under so it's out of the way. Okay, so yeah, you can see things aren't sort of sitting in there the way that they kind of were before, but all right, but we do have, dining hall, right? So this is going to be their transformation hall. So this is where they're going to take the people that they've decided that they want to turn into Illithids that are suitable candidates, right, and not going to reject the transformation. Okay, so what they've done is they've taken the really the long dining hall that's would be pretty straightforward. There'd probably be one or two rooms just at the back there that would usually would hold the stores and the cutlery and all of that sort of stuff, you know, the tablecloths and everything, right?
Place the waiters go to set up the
Sure, and they'd have trolleys and stuff like that, right? So they'd have a little rooms at the thing, but then otherwise it would just be a really large hall. And what they've done is they've taken all of the tables out, or transformed all the tables, pretty much adapted them through carpentry or whatever to be like beds, and there's like 6 of them, right? So what we actually might want to do is see if there's people in here, right? So this is where they're gonna find them, where they've already had possibly a tadpole placed in their brains. All right. So the first question to ask the oracle is, do you can have a flip? All right. Make sure. Wait until okay. On a heads, there's people in here, and we'll roll up a dice. And on tails, there's nobody in here. All right, and it's just the threat of an empty room with all these bed things on it, right? Okay. So flip. You can do it. Got it?
Heads.
Heads. All right, now roll a d6. We said there's 6 in here. Let's see how many people have already put. This is people with tadpoles in their head. These people will turn.
4.
All right. This is zombie situation, right? When they turn, how they turn. All right, is okay. Now, are these of different races, or are these the Harangans, or are we only having the other one last Harangan that we discussed, right? So that's a question. It doesn't have to be a flip. Do you want to have random races for these 4?
Random races.
Okay.
The last Harangan's just gonna be in jail.
All right, sure. Okay.
He rejected the promise.
All right, sure. Okay, so we want to take that out of, where are we going to take these races? Just out of Player's Handbook, all right?
Just for the easies.
Just because it's at hand right there. Let's have a look. We could say that they brought other things because, well, out of their multiverse, let's have a look. What was it in that had
the multiverse?
Yeah, this one here. I think I've got it down here. All right, sure. But that was where I wasn't sure how many we had. Wasn't it 30 different races at the start of that? Sure. Roll 3d10 then, and we'll just add whatever it is. Looks great.
12, I think.
12, you think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, Githyanki. Oh, it makes perfect sense. The Gith have had the issues with the Illithids forevers, and the Githzerai served them in some capacity, I'm pretty sure, and the Githyanki are the ones that rejected them. We probably should check on that. What's it, page 18 or 19? What does it say here? The Githzerai migrated to the ever-changing chaos after the ancient schism, right, that split from their ancestors. So let me see. And what are they doing in limbo? They've got a home for themselves there in amongst the chaos of limbo. They become explorers. Let me see. Sure. So pretty much it looks like they've got their own kind of independence. But they are probably happier to be more chaotic, maybe more likely to be evil. Do they have pretty much, they got the same psionics. Well, these ones have astral's knowledge. Oh, whereas these ones have mental's discipline. Oh, I'm not sure which one I would prefer.
Do you want to do flip the coin?
Oh, you're saying, would you, out of these two? Okay, sure. On our heads, we'll have Githyanki, and on the tails, we'll have the Githzerai. Maybe they were recaptured in that sense. Tails. All right, so they're Githzerai. And yeah, they are probably out in the ever-changing chaos of the limbos. They were recaptured. Yeah, they were recaptured and brought back here to get turned into more Illithids, please. All right.
Yippee.
On beds with tadpoles. All right.
In heads.
Sure. Great. Now, so that's what this room will be, essentially, very simply. This is where you get put, okay? So you're going to come in here. I don't know whether people are going to be aware that they can't save the Illithids. It's certainly not something, maybe if they've got a high-level cleric, they might be able to do something about it, but I'm pretty sure it's a death sentence. All right. So the next part we have got to draw lines was the kitchens. Now the kitchens weren't just the kitchens in the in this abbey setup that they had that we originally were working from. They had a kitchen, cellar, a bakery, and a brew house. Right. So they had different sections all in their one setting here. All right, so a rather large building that probably the kitchens would have only been just one part of it. All right, so but now the kitchen section and probably the bakery would probably be attached, but off to the side. Right, so that's the bakers. The brew house and the cellars. See, the brew house would probably have its own.
Little.
Yeah, well, it would off to the side here because this is where. Okay, all right. And the cellars would be a storage room here. That's not quite so long. All right. So put that in for the brew. What they would have then is they would have cleared out the entire area, but they would have kept things like, this is going to be for their cleansing. So I'm not sure how they actually prepare and do for their cleansing. Do you want to go over and have a look at that sheet again, right? And have a look at the layers. And if you scroll up from the layers, right, and scroll up, what does it say about the cleansing?
Freshly captured victims are processed into the cleansing chambers. Their gear is removed and either destroyed or kept if it is of interest. Their hair is shaved to prevent parasites, and any sickly ones are disposed of.
All right. So I'm saying then that in the bakery is where they would be getting rid of the loot. Right, so this is where they strip off the loot. All right, strip loot off in here. That way, in the baker's ovens, they can burn anything that they don't want. Right, they can burn rubbish off in there. All right.
Okay.
And what else did it say that they do over there?
There is their hair shaved off.
Oh, okay. So probably in the kitchens then.
Parasites.
Okay, so in the kitchens, this is where they probably have their larger prep area, right? So that like on the stoves, they can turn that into like boilers and things like that, right? So stoves for boiling implements and preparing stuff, right? Preparing the different poisons, boiling implements and preparing poisons. Sure. Okay, and what was the next part then? What do they do with the ones that didn't work out?
Disposed of.
Well, they can do that in the brew house, right? So in the brew house, they have, when you have brewing, you have really big boilers, right? Depending on what kind of brewing that you're doing. But generally, you need a place that holds larger amounts of like liquid. So this will be just generally a big, large open room. And what they've got are two big boilers still, right? And that's how they dispose of the bodies, is that they boil them off in the liquid. And that way they can give the sludge to the cranium rats and the intellect devourers for feed, I suppose.
Tasty.
Sure, and then they can just get rid of all the bone. Maybe they use the bone for implements, right? So this is where they can dispose. So brew.
Where they put all the interesting items.
Sure, body disposal. Well,
just won't burn.
we do have somewhere for some of those things that they want to have, but we'll have a storeroom. They'll need a storeroom themselves. They've just appropriated it from storing alcohol. No, well, if it was a cellar, it would have barrels of wine or barrels of beer in it, right? So now they're still storing barrels in it, but it is barrels of poison or barrels of liquids that they need. Like, well, they have to transfer over the tadpoles, which are in liquid, over to here where they keep them before they go into the room where they actually get put, right? So you would could possibly store that brine and liquid here and stuff, right? So this storage is still for liquid barrels of different varieties of liquid. All right.
Not liquids you willingly drink.
Various liquids. Not liquids you want to drink. No one's saying there's any liquid in there you want to drink. All right. So look, this is our cleansing place where they can strip things off in one room and you get shuffled around. Then you get pushed out into the kitchens, and this is where they oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. So what we need to do is have a flow from where people get brought in. They probably get brought in here at the bottom of the bakery, and then they probably get marched out, probably out the other side. Meanwhile, their stuff gets led into the kitchens. Okay, this is where we need to... I'll have to draw this up later, because it probably won't look exactly like this. And then, yeah, then there have to be a place. They won't have to go through to the brewing area, but we need a way for the whoever's going to be transformed, that they are brought through this kind of facility and marched through it, right? Anyway, let's move on. That's on me. That's our drawing problem. All right, we've been at this for a while.
Yeah, the prison.
Keep going. The prisons. All right, so...
Back to our roots.
It was, sure, back to the roots. This is very simple, though. All this was the workers' quarters, which look very similar to the way that the simple area here was set up, right? 2 rooms, all right? So 2 rooms with a veranda out the front, okay? So that's their veranda. And they got 2 rooms there, okay? And we'll probably... have it that these doors have been turned into like reinforced cells.
Yeah.
So this whole place has been the walls, the roof, and the door are all reinforced, right? Reinforced. Okay. And trapped. This will only be where we have our only trap, right? So find your trapping paperwork, okay?
And in here is there the younger brother, Harengan, the paladin of light, who refused.
The oldest brother.
Oh, oldest brother.
Yeah, the youngest brother got turned.
Okay.
The younger sister got turned. The older brother refused, right?
Okay.
And even after the mother and father, because the elder brother had already been at an age to give themselves to the great air god of light. All right, so that's the story about it. Okay, so there's one prisoner. All right, and he is the oldest Harengan paladin. So it doesn't matter about who they give their oath to. It matters what kind of oath they have. So we need to have a look at the different kind of oaths to decide what kind of paladin this is. I'm pretty sure that we will settle on vengeance, because that's what they're going to want to do. But the story is that, yeah, after their family were turned, and they refused to be turned, even through the experimentation of being fed a different kind of vampire blood, right? So can't be turned, yeah. They were then tied to that tree, right, to get one of the evil dark blessings, and couldn't be broken with the tree. Okay, couldn't be broken on the tree. And then after that, they were pretty much locked in this prison here and forgotten about, and they kind of went a little bit mad. So instead of, they probably had one of the nicer oaths originally, but being locked in here is when they turned to vengeance. So if this guy can get let out, they're going to be at party level. So this will be what you call the DM PC. All right, this is the DM's player character. They will be at character level 13. All right. Maybe 14, considering that this will be a level 14 area at the end when you fight the thing. And they will attempt to event, like to, as long as you can get them, they want some gear. Okay.
Just give me a couple of months and I'll get you a vorpal sword.
Yeah, you're gonna keep wishing through that box. Sure, they want some gear and they want to know about the family, right? So you're gonna have to fill them in about the family. Okay, the family story. And then once they're brought back to health, like if you can rescue this guy, give him some gear, give him a little bit of health. Yeah, I mean like health and recuperation, so that you know, a night or two of sleep on a bed of some variety away from the horrors of what they're experiencing. You give them that and they're going to turn into, you know, the DMPC, where they're going to have full character level. They'll be able to run around and smite people, and you know, they'll will try to get themselves killed even. That'll be the problem with this, is that reining this character in from that point, once they have this set up, will be very hard, because they will just then seek their vengeance and want to go out dying otherwise. All right, so that's what's going on here. Okay, now what do we got here? All right.
The rat breeding pattern.
Yeah. So, on places in the monasteries and abbeys, right, being often quite low, being located rurally, away from cities and markets and stuff like that, they often have to grow their own food, which is why there's gardens and stuff. They also have to keep their own animals, right? Okay, which usually is stuff like a couple of horses or a donkey, a goat or two, a cow or two, some chickens, right?
A pig or 3.
No, a pig, just one. They I don't know, unless you want to breed it, or eat it, but they take a lot to feed. Pigs aren't the easiest things to keep fed. As much as you can say just feed them scraps, they eat a lot of scraps and beyond, all right? Anyway, doesn't matter. Those animals, whatever those animals are all dead, all right? They're just outright dead. They're gone. What we have instead is, what you would have is whoever was taking the stock hand, whoever was looking after the animals, would have had a shack, all right? And then outside of their shack, they would have multiple penned areas, all right? And in these penned areas, for example, have to draw this up later, the scale, all right, and everything.
Are we gonna put some like Illithids in the cleansing chambers and stuff?
Well, this is one of the groups. Yeah, sure, I see what you're saying. This is where we were going to put one of those groups in there, you're right. We were going to put one of the Illithids, as well as probably just a regular mind flayer in there. Because what are the Illithids? They're
CR10.
Yeah, CR10. So this is where you need to go over to the calculator, all right?
You didn't have it open.
CR10. I'm pretty sure I got it on one of the other pages. Is it not on one of the other pages?
Oh.
Well, then you have to probably open it. Just open a new tab and
then D&D?
Yeah, sure. How'd you go? You got it? All right, very good.
Number of characters?
4, and they're 14 now.
Oh, okay. 4. Soon it's gonna be 5 if they rescue that paladin.
He's not sticking around.
Oh.
And it depends, but like he's not here to stay. He's here to die to an elder brain in vengeance of his family. He's gonna blow all his spell slots on mighty smites and rushing. Because it's Leroy Hopkins. All right.
Okay, how many?
What am I looking in this book for?
What
are we talking about? You got it right. CR10.
Yeah,
and what's the regular mind flayer?
Yeah.
CR7.
That's only a medium encounter.
All right. So then
add some brain puppies.
Where is this? Yeah, you want some intellect devourers? Put 2 intellect devourers there.
What? CR?
2.
Hang on. Let me try 4.
What?
Because 3 was fun.
Well,
it was only a hard.
Yeah, but you got to consider this is amongst everything that's in this area,
Oh yeah.
right? If they pull everything, then they're dead. They're all caught, guaranteed, right? So a hard fight is fine, considering that all the hard fights, all at the same time, would be an unwinnable fight, right? So it's okay to just have a hard. So you can have one of these, right? So we have...
How about we put 3 brain puppies?
Sure, try 3 then, if that makes you feel better. That was in the kitchens in the cleansing space. All right, so we have a Illithids, Slayer, and
3
Devourers by 3. What does that give you?
A hard.
Well, all right. Only 1. All right, very good. We put that in there. You happy now? All right, very good. Back to the place. Okay, so the animal pens are empty now. All right, so what are they doing with the animal pens? What do you think they're doing with the animal pens?
Brain puppies and brain rats.
Yes. Okay, so they have one of these pens has been dug into the ground. All right, and it is a very deep hole. This is like 50, 60-foot hole. All right. Okay. Deep. All right. So what inside there is the rat utopia. The rats are allowed to breed out of control in there, and they are fed. This is the evil rat utopia. All right. And they are fed the different parts of the body parts that are left over, and they can gnaw on the bone and whatever else gets chucked down there. And then later on they get, see, the way they get turned into cranium rats is apparently all the Illithids get around it and they psionically think about it for long enough, and that blows out the cranium rat's brain, and they get smarter and integrated with the colony, and then they eat your face off. All right, so down here is the evil rat utopia. Okay, so this is where they start out before they've been transformed, right? And then after they've been transformed, that's when they live over in those in the cells, right? Over in the lower guest house, that where we had the little cubicles and stuff like that. Yeah, that's where they can stay over there. All right. But for now, while they're babies, before they get you know, scion brainanized, this is where they're at. Okay, they live down in a big deep hole known as the evil rat utopia. Okay,
one of your PCs fell down there.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have a great time. They'll have a party in that hole. Oh, that wouldn't be fun. Imagine if you wake up in there with them already starting to chew on you, right? Because like, so your party gets captured. What happens to your party? They don't get outright killed. What do? Okay, one's tied to the tree. One's almost about to get a tadpole in their head. One's locked in the other prison cell, and one gets thrown down the evil rat utopia hole. And that's how you start the session, right? Isn't that a fun game? Don't you want to do that, right? With no gear.
Don't die.
Yeah, take the don't die challenge with that one. Okay. On the other side, or in one of the other ones, you can have like a barn or whatever, right? Because this is where they breed the
puppies.
the intellect devourers. Now, do you know how they breed?
Dreaming?
No, they're not beholders. Okay. Apparently, they use their weird tongue thing that they attack you with or whatever, and they like avatar each other, and that makes the female-ish one, or I don't know if it's female, God knows. One of them makes spores, and then what they do is when those spores are ready, they put that in the belly or the chest of a new friend. And then that new friend and all the spores erupts later into new intellect devourers. Now, do you feel better knowing that, or what? How's that for an education?
Whoa.
Yeah, now you know, right? Okay. So this can be like, this can be outside, and then you can have inside. We have a barn here, right? A barn that is for spawning devourers.
So say they want some more devourers. They just get a handful of the rats and just chuck them in there, and then
they can do that, but they prefer to use humanoids that don't work out. So, you know, you can imagine that you either don't work out and you get put in a prison, or you don't work out and you get a tadpole in your head, or you don't work out and you get boiled down,
or you get
tied to a tree, or you get thrown in the hole, or you get put next to the spawn devourers. You can see that this is why Illithids are to be feared by the mortal races, because they don't care about all the bad things that they do to you that you're very much gonna care about. All right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We don't have to do much with that. All right. That's just to work out what's up in the pens. Okay. Otherwise, we'll be here for 5 years.
Ooh.
Now, this is what we do need to do where we can have it. You can run back over there. We have on this side of the building.
Slow waddle.
There's storerooms, okay, and there's 3 of them down the side of the abbey, right? And they have locked doors for each of the rooms, and these are going to be loot rooms. All right. Oh, did we do the trap? We didn't do the trap. Where was the trap? The trap was over here.
Oh yeah.
We had to do a trap first.
I'll switch back.
No, you can keep that up. We can talk about the trap over here, whatever. So you don't have to
I'll just roll trap.
Okay, sure. Roll a trap dice. We have to do a trap over here very quickly over at the prison.
20.
Okay.
1.
Oh, that's just whatever.
React.
Keep going. Roll again. Jeez, 1 for... You can't even get it in the box? Look at that. Wow. How hard was that? How hard was that?
Not hard.
No, it wasn't. All right, fireball. Great. Classic. Trapped. Fireball spell. Straight in your face. And we'll just say it's just
66 damage is enough.
No, that's why we're just going to say it's straight up the fireball spell that they're dealing with at this point. Right? So they're just going to take this, what is it? Isn't it 10d6? I could be wrong. 8d6. 8d6? Fireball
cost at the 9th level. Face.
No. That's what I mean. I think, look. You can tell I don't often have to deal with casting the spells. I usually just get them thrown at me. Alright. Fireball. 8d6. There you go, 8d6. I was eventually right.
You were 2 off.
Somewhat. I started with d10. I moved my way down to 8. Okay, so their trap is a fireball spell. Alright, they have to disarm it. DC 25 to disarm, but is going to be a DC 20 dex to avoid the fireball or take half damage or whatever it is. And then I'm pretty sure some classes can take no damage if they avoid it. Anyway.
Okay.
Very good. Moving on. Back again. Where are we? Stores. Loot. Do you roll up a loot table?
Where am I? There. Okay.
Sorry, excuse me.
Wow. 10,000 gold.
All right. Let me see. 1. Let me see. 1. I will. How much room am I going to have? 2. And get rid of that. And 3. I think I gave 1 too little. Anyway, what do we got?
10,000 gold.
Okay.
1,600 platinum.
Yes. How much, sorry?
1,600 platinum.
Okay.
3 stones worth 1,000 GP each.
3 stones of 1,000. Okay, 3 times 1,000 GP. So this is where you can put in like a diamond for like spell casting and stuff.
And there is a spell scroll of fire shield.
Stones. A scroll of what? Scroll of fire shield.
Yeah.
Fire shield. Wait, please, just 1 second. Okay. Now go.
A scroll of stone skin.
Okay. Next.
An oil of etherealness.
Oh, yes.
I mean, mind flayers had that. Whatever.
Sure.
Potion of diminution.
Potion of divination.
D-I-M-I-N-U-T.
Diminution.
Yeah, diminution.
Alright.
And then the potion of heroism.
Okay.
Oh, get the paladin to chug that before he goes in.
Sure. Another one? Any other items?
No.
Alright, well, we'll see what we get. We might add a couple of magical items in there as we go, but that'll be enough for now. Alright, so what do we got for the next one?
19,000 gold.
Okay.
1,200 platinum.
Okay.
This one's big. A bloodstone orb engraved with arcane runes. 2,500 GP. A fine leather coin purse trimmed with ermine. 250 GP.
Skip on it. They would have just thrown that away. Who wants to keep a purse with a couple hundred?
Spell scroll, create undead.
Okay, sure. Scroll. Create undead. Alright.
Potion of speed.
Okay.
Get him to chug the heroism and speed one.
Yeah, in some of the older rules, you couldn't do that because the more potions are on top after the first one, you had to make rolls, like fortitude rolls and stuff, or else you'd be like, you get sickness, potion sickness. Different systems have that.
And then potion of supreme healing.
Supreme healing?
Yeah.
Okay. How many of those?
1.
Okay.
Oh, two.
Yeah, I was going to say usually they have more than 1. Okay, sure.
That's it.
Alright, what's next one then?
Okay. 10,000 GP.
Okay. Yes.
1,200 platinum.
Okay.
Hang on, what? 6 plus 8 plus... What's 6 plus 8 plus 1?
15.
15? Yeah, 15...
13. Hold on. No, I think I was right the first time. 15.
15 stones worth 500 GP each.
Okay.
Plus 2 ammunition.
Wait. Oh. What? Sorry?
Plus 2 ammunition. 50 blowgun needles.
Plus 2 ammo. Oh, I wonder if anyone's... Have we included a blowgun at this point? Well, maybe we'll have to later. Maybe we'll put a blowgun in here as well. Plus 2 ammo. Blowgun. Alright.
50 blowgun needles.
Oh, so you're saying there's plus 2 ammo. Is that blowgun ammo? Or is that...
ammo.
So what's the next one? There's 50 of those.
Yes.
Okay. Times...
Bead of force.
50. Okay. Speed of force.
Bead of force.
What does that do?
It's in DMG page 154.
Okay. Bead of force. Just a second.
Guess what?
I have that book. What page did you say?
154.
154. Bead of force. Rare item. Small black sphere. Usually you find a bunch of them together, so we will put 1d4 plus 1, plus 4, 1d4 plus 4.
What do they do though?
Yeah, I'm getting there. As an action, you throw them out up to 60 feet, and then they explode on the impact and are destroyed, and everything within the 10-foot radius have to make a dexterity save, or take force damage. There you go. And then a sphere of transparent force then encloses the area for a minute. Any creature that failed the save and is completely within the area is trapped inside this sphere. They can throw it out and trap things in there.
Just chuck it at the elder brain.
It only is 10 foot by 10 foot. It depends on the size of the elder brain. You'd have to have a look in the stats for the elder brain to see whether they fit within that sphere.
What? There's some more oil of etherealness.
Okay, sure. We'll just add that over here. And?
It's another potion of diminishing.
Oh, okay, sure. We'll just put that over here.
And another potion of heroism.
Oh, okay. So there's 2 each of those. Okay, so we'll put all of those over there.
As well as another potion of superior healing.
Well, we'll put that one over here. I'm going to put a +1 blowgun in here. +1. Alright, there's a +1 blowgun. To go with the ammo, there's the gold, there's the beads of force, so this is the damaging kind of stuff. We have the bloodstone orb over here, as well as some scrolls. Maybe we need to put a few more scrolls in. Let me have a look just a second.
I'll just swap back to...
Sure.
Other.
What have we got?
Sit.
Come over in to have a look in the magical items here.
Ooh, magical items.
Sure, maybe we'll just roll on the table, just to put a different magical item in each of these rooms. Yeah, where is it? Oh, I've gone all the way past them. No, I haven't. Oh, here. These magic tables. Sure, we'll use these magic tables. You need a D100.
D100?
And we're not rolling... Where are we rolling on? We'll roll on table G.
G?
G.
Okay. 58.
58 will give us Mace of Disruption.
Mace of Destruction or Disruption?
Disruption. Mace of Disruption. In here. Alright, give us another one.
71.
71 will give us a Ring of the Ram.
Does that just turn you into a ram?
Well, we'll have a look. It's just another thing for someone else to attune to turn him into another creature.
40.
40. Is going to give us the Dragon Slayer. Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
We already got over our dragon arc.
Sure. Who's to say we're not going to have another one? We could still put another dragon in somewhere. Actually, I know exactly where there's going to be like an endgame dragon in somewhere.
Ooh.
So, you know, close this book up properly. Alright. Alright. So, yeah, we got a whole heap of gold, platinum that they can use in the box to requisition items. We have stones that we can say at any given time are diamonds or whatever that they need for spells, as well as some smaller ones, 500 gold ones for the other spells they need. We've got a big expensive one to sell. We've got a whole heap of different scrolls and heap of potions, right? 3 supreme healing is pretty good, right? The beta force, that's pretty cool. That'll be very, very useful for catching things. And blowgun, because we haven't had one yet, plus some ammo, very good. That's a +3 overall until the ammo's used up.
And then you just have a normal +1 blowgun.
And then you have a normal +1 blowgun, yeah. Mace of Disruption, Dragon Slayer. Let's have a look. Mace of Disruption. Let's have a look what these things do. How long are we at? We've been at it for hours.
6 minutes.
Oh, we gotta finish up. Oh, we've been at it forever. All right, we got a lot. We've done a lot. This is why we have to get back to it earlier. Oh my gosh, Mace of Disruption. When you hit a fiend or an undead. See, you'd say we've already done the fiends and undeads, but we might be able to find more later. They take extra radiant damage.
I think we had that.
If they have we? Well, we'll have to go through. Maybe we have a look back all the books to see. Otherwise, if they are under a certain amount of hit points, they have to make a save. If they fail to save, they could be outright destroyed. Very cool. What was the other one? The Dragon Slayer. All right, let's have a look at that very quickly. Dragon Slayer. +1 sword. And damage rolls made. Yeah, magical, sure. 3d6 of the damage of the weapon's type. Oh, so what kind of dragons does this slay?
Any dragon.
Let me see. For the purpose of weapon, let me see. Okay, of the weapon's type. So that means whether it's bludgeoning, slashing, or piercing already. And any dragon is dragon, turtles, or wyverns can be slain by this weapon as well. Great. All right. And the Ring of Ram. Let's have a look.
I'm guessing.
You're guessing?
You turn into a ram.
Okay, sure. Let's see if that's what that is. We just add it to the growing list of animals you can turn into. Ring of the Ram. Ring has 3 charges. Regain daily, whatever, through, yeah, While wearing the ring, you can use an action to expend up to 3 of its charges to attack one creature you can see within 60 feet of you. The ring produces a special ram's head and makes an attack roll, see, with a +7 bonus. So it doesn't turn you into a ram. It's just a big force damage, like a Green Lantern projection of a ram head that pops out and smashes into something.
Give the paladin the seal cloak and the ram ring.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And then get him to chug the potion of heroism.
Or you can use it to break down doors, because it can break things, and each of the charges adds a +5 bonus. So if you use all 3 charges, you can have +15 bonus to your strength to break an item. Pretty handy, right?
What if it was breaking the Elder Brain?
Oh, look. We gotta hurry up.
Oh.
Okay. We gotta go.
Well. Done.
Sure. All right. So this one's very quickly. Dry well. Okay. We have that sitting on this image, which I obviously did close too early. All right. Up in the top corner. Yeah. So over in the top corner, out on the other side of the abbey, we have a dry well,
with
and that connects with some more tunnels. Yeah, so this is how one of them will lead in to where the chamber is with the elder brain, and that's all dried off and probably might even be stopped at the elder brain's head. But on the other side, the dry well goes out to the tunnels outside to the other dry well. So this is where you can have like a covert entryway. You either come in the front door, down the cliff sides and over the wall, or you come in from the tunnel from outside. Right?
Yeah, like you rescue the paladin, run out, and then just go through the dry well and just destroy the elder brain.
Well, dry leads to outside. All right, very good. The doctor's room. Okay, so the doctor's room here is at the back. All right, this is on the other side of the abbey. Okay, this is going to be what you'd consider north of the...
But there's no direction in this plane.
There will be. When we're finished, we can put a thing in there just for, you know, well, just for point of reference for people to say north or south or whatever, even if it isn't. Even if it sends the compasses crazy, at least we can refer to it. It's rather than saying to the front, east, upside down, west, place, side, at the back of the building, right? Makes sense. Okay? North, south, east, west. This is our map. Right, this makes sense. Of this map, those bearings still work. Why are you trying to hassle me? Okay, dry well, back corner, doctor's office here, an infirmary. So we got a doctor. I was wondering whether we should do the doctor's office and the infirmary together. All right, because they are attached, but the doctor's office is going to have the actually, it will have a lab set up in there, right? So there's going to be a lab in here at the doctor's office. But this is where we're going to have the one of the
Arcana lid.
Yeah. Where did I put that? Where's the front page? Oh my god.
Back, like
there.
Maybe post-it note it.
Oh my god. I got so many post-it notes everywhere. All right. This is where we're going to put the Alhoon. All right. This is the doctor. Okay. This is where he's going here. He's a CR10, right? He is only kept around because of his, usually these magical prowess ones, they like either kill the elder brain and lead the place, or they just leave because they're a threat and because they don't work. They don't like having magical things around them. All right. They deal with psionics, not magics. So when something pops up and they take a big interest in magic, that's like icky to them and they try and shoo it away. All right. So this is one where they actually keep him because he's a doctor. He works this Dr. Alhoon's lab. Okay. And so this is where another thing, you'll walk in and there'll probably be a chair in the corner, like a doctor's chair. I mean, like a dentist chair, right? And it will have someone who has been previously experimented on and hasn't been cleaned out yet.
Ew.
Okay.
Not afraid to the rats?
Sure, they have to be cleaned out to fed off to the rats. But this guy will be working inside next to the infirmary, right? So he will be working, he'll have a doorway here. This is his office. He'll have his own little entryway, and the infirmary will be over on this side. All right. Okay. So, the Alhoon, we will have him on his own because the infirmary is going to have the Arcanist one. So they'll be together. Okay, the Arcanist is a CR8 and the Alhoon is a CR10. So what's with them? Can you go and put that into the calculator very quickly? Because this will be the last thing that we do for today. Okay. All right. Keep one of these and one of these only. Are you at the calculator there? All right.
That's only a medium.
Okay, that's why we will add some more. We'll add some intellect devourers.
Any cranium rats?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Maybe we have, well, if you want to, yeah, sure. Maybe we just have these things and they're like on the outside and he has a whistle that he can call the cranium rats, right? That, because this might be, he could be in charge of, well, no, that's a psionic. We need the psionic guy to deal with that. Anyway, but yeah, he has a whistle that he can call the cranium rats with, like a high-pitched one, you know, that the dogs would only hear.
What's the cranium rats?
They're like 5 as a swarm. So probably one swarm, one CR5 swarm.
One swarm. Deadly.
Yeah, there you go. See, so it went from being just a, what was it? A hard to a deadly. A medium to a deadly, okay? So in here, so this will have the Alhoon and he will have a whistle.
So deal with him quietly.
That, yeah, or stop him from using the whistle.
Like use the
whistle that calls, and he'll if he hasn't got any cranium rats fighting you, he'll be like a little mini boss rat fight. He'll just keep calling them. If he thinks he needs more at the top of the round at initiative 20, he can just call more. All right.
More rats here.
Call cranium rats. Okay, very good.
That's his special ability.
All right. Yeah, well, he's got other spells. This is the thing. You take the Alhoons have their own stat listing in that. Have a look in the one that's Volo's one. If you go back across, in there should be try and find. So Shift F or Control F. Sorry.
Control
F.
Control F.
Alt F. Isn't it how you get the find option?
I'm pressing Control F. Alt F.
Watch it. Control F. Find. All right. What are we looking for? Alhoons now. All right. Let's go to the next one. Next one. Next one. Oh, there we are. Okay. Tells you more about them, right? So you can see they got cloak on and they actually read books. And yeah, they practice arcane magic, unlike the other ones. They're usually exiled, but this one's being kept here. And you can see also that they have, not the Lich variant, because we're not going to make it that hardcore. But you can see that they get extra spells here, all the way up to 6 level spells, all right? So they're already a lot harder. And that's where you're having a deadly fight. You got him with the ability to call up more cranium rat swarm. And then he has magical abilities of his own. So this is definitely going to be a hard enough fight, all right? So we'll leave it there. We've got an Alhoon. We're going to add tomorrow when we do the infirmary. We're going to add his little helper in. He'll be the Arcanist, and they have their own spells. They're like a CR8, I think, as I recall. Let me see.
Yeah.
The Arcanist was a CR8. Yeah, so we can add one of those in. All right. So we have had our Alhoon. We have had Illithid. Oh. As well as an extra Mind Flayer. Alright, very good.
And a swarm.
And a swarm. Alright. Sure. Do we have any other devourers?
No.
Okay. Got to keep up with these things. Oh, we did add a tree, but the tree's different. Alright?
Yeah.
The tree's different. I'll write its stats in later.
I think we did have devourers. Yeah.
Where?
Ruin.
Oh, okay, sure. How many was that? Another 3. Oh, okay. Great. Alright, I'll write that in before I forget. Okay. Oh, I gotta go all the pages back. Where were they? Over here. There. 1, 2, 3. 11 of them already, the little buggers running around this place.
Grr.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and then we had the Githzerai getting tadpoled over here. And we had... yeah, we put those in, the Illithid and the Flayer in already. How many Flayers was there? Just one, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But the 3 Devourers, sure. And the Prisoner. And we've put, yeah, so there won't be any, I don't know if we'll put any actual Illithids in at the, where we're spawning the animals from.
They just check from time to time.
Yeah, they feed them. They'll come over there every now and again. It gives you an excuse to say this group of 3 normal Illithids, they just aren't in that place at the moment. They're off feeding the, you know, baby devourers, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. The dry well, which isn't too much of a problem for now. And the doctor's office.
Dr. Alhoon.
Sure, Dr. Alhoon and his lab with his whistle. All right, I think that's enough. Please, we've been here forever.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a long one today, hey? Very good. We did so much, though. Lob's so tired. Lob hasn't done everything. I feel tired anyway. I have sleep. All right.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Do the
thing.
Yeah, sure. No hassles.
In the comment section down below.
Stay weird. And we will see you next time. If I can find the cursor.
Bye-bye.